Hi, Bob Gatzen back here with the snare drum now. The snare drum is the best drum on the kit as far as I'm concerned because it's central to the kit. It's centrally located on the kit. And also, you play it more than any other drum, so you really want to get the snare drum right. Now, we're going to tune the snare drum, and there's a difference between the tom-toms and the snare drum. The tom-toms, the heads are in sympathy, moving back and forth, same pitch. Now, snare drum, the heads are tuned at two different pitches, and that's because the two heads are different even in thickness. One is half the thickness as the other, all right? So, let's start with the bottom head. And the pitch A is a great pitch to set the head at to start with. You can tune it a little below and above it, like between a G and a B, for instance, is the tuning range of a snare head. So, let's listen and sing, all right? I have this Planet Waves. This is a multi-function, well, it's a tuner and a metronome. All right, it's great. It does a million things. It's really, really cool. We're just going to use it for the A pitch right now so we can sing it and duplicate it. So, play it on the metronome. Sing that pitch, get it in your mind. And now, let's just go around and use the sequential tuning method we had before and tap. Well, we're a little low right here. So let's take a quarter turn. Remember, be sensitive with the key. We discussed that before. Quarter turns. It's getting higher. Okay, now, remember, we've got to even it out now. So you want to do the same thing with the back and forth. High, low. Let's see what happens here. Okay, remember, opposite side. Lower. There's the same now. Lower. Same. There we go. So there's your A pitch on the bottom head. Okay, now let's tune the drum over. So the snare's off. And let's just pick a pitch slightly higher than A. So A, da da da. How about we set it at like a C? Ba da da. How about there? C. Whoa, it's at a C. Well, let's turn it up to a C sharp, just for the fun of it. A little high. Low. See how it evened out? Opposite tuning, OTT. So a little bit of hit and miss with opposite tuning because you really don't know exactly where it's like. What I do is I keep going back and forth and you get a little technique going where you keep switching hands until you finally get the head at a C sharp. Now the drum's ready to play. Nice sound, huh? Now we're going to mount the snares on the drum. Snares can be your friend or your worst enemy. If you get them on there right and they work right, they just make the snare drum sound sweet. However, if you don't put them on correctly, they can dry the drum out, make it sound thin and empty. All right? So here's how we do it. We have a drum that we prepared here, and the snares are already on here, but loosely fitted, so we can show you how to do this. And now, I'll just point out a couple of, again, for our first-timers. This is a butt end right here. They call it the butt end because it holds the other side of the snares in a stationary position. And then on this side of the drum, we have what we call a snare strainer. And the snare strainer has an on and off position. When you push it up, it pulls the snares tight. When you push it down, it actually creates a tom-tom sound by disengaging the snares. Okay? Now, You start with the butt end, placing your finger over on the end of the snares like this here, right? Pull this back and forth and get it centered in between the shell, the inside of the shell. You can just look over the drum, get it nice and centered. Here we go, right, just like that. Now, when you watch this. Now, if you tighten them in unevenly like this, you'll have snare wires that'll be loose and snare wires that'll be tight. That's what dries your drum out. So you want to get them nice and even. Snares generally come with straps like this, but they also can have cables on them. But most snares come packaged with plastic straps. I really suggest you use these nylon ones. You can get these at a fabric store and that kind of thing. They're thinner and they put less pressure against the head. They make the drum sound better, and they last long. So that would be a good replacement. All right, get them centered like this, and then tighten the butt end. Ta-da! Now we're going to attach it to the strainer side. You want to loosen the strainer so that the plunger of the strainer is all the way out, so you have full alignment during while you're playing the drums. And you want to put it in here loosely, and just a tiny bit of pressure against the strap. And the reason for that is when you pull this down, it automatically adjusts. See the strap going down inside here we go. So still loose, right? Now, when it's in that position, we want to then tighten it. Okay? Now, turn this knob, and voila, there's your snare. All right? Off position, on position. Now, here's something else you want to look for, and we purposely did this as well. See how this one strand is loose compared to the other ones? There's that little space right there. That's the beginning of these snares wearing out. So when you tighten it, well, it goes into position, but you're going to, every time you play, to get your snares to sound tight and distinct on it, you're going to turn this as tight as you need to turn it to make all the snares seat against the head. So you're going to be tightening it for that one bad snare, and the rest of the snares are going to be over tight. And you're going to get this very dried out sound. Like, for instance, not a nice loose sound. So, time to replace the snares. Even though they work, you're really killing the sound of the drum with them. That's about it. Have fun with your snare drum.